we hear about IMDR today in the morning, and I think it was a big announcement. And will harmonization, because you are exporting to many, many countries today, so what do you see, how helpful are Indian regulations now to you? And when you adhere to regulations in global markets, what differences do you see, let's say, as a company, is that Indian regulations now which is to be implemented, helping you to address that more strongly? Because I remember 2-3 years ago when we were not regulated, always there was a challenge, even for free sales, we were not sure where to go because we were not regulated. And many countries remain in free sales certificate. So, is that helping you in exports, basically the Indian regulation? And any specific ask you have, which you would think that will help you to increase your market share outside India or in India, and which you still think is a roadblock for you as a company or as an industry? And so that was the question.
Thanks so much. Again, to echo Atul, after the morning speeches of Dr. Agarwal and Dr. Chawla, pretty much any discussion around regulatory is inconsequential. My big worry, and the industry should be worried that some of our regulatory talent doesn't start moving to the CDSC. There's a possibility on both sides of good talent. I think the thing about an evolving industry and a global evolving industry is it's difficult both for the regulator and for those who are being regulated. Predominantly because a lot of changes are happening and it's very, very dynamic. And any adherence to a global harmonization always helps, because if I look at where we are as an industry currently in India, the markets globally have really opened up in a very large manner for us. In China plus one, the post-COVID season, if I would put it that way, is really helping us into very large markets, predominantly those of US and Europe. And they do require us to adhere to the regulations that are very specific to them, whether it is the US FDA or the UMDR. And this requires a fair amount of work at the back end. It's a 3 to 5 year process, a lot of clinical data, biocompatibility that you have to generate to adhere to those standards and to start making any kind of headway in those kind of markets. Now, as the industry grows, from 800 companies, we're now at about 3,000 odd companies. It will be very important to create an ecosystem around quality, QMS, regulatory, that can help companies scale up quickly and reach to a level where they can start participating in the global arena. I mean, India as a market will grow, but the fact of the market is, if you just look at medical devices, we are 1/30th of the global market. And if any company has to scale up, a good mix of international and domestic go-to-market strategy can definitely help us to scale up faster and take away from some of the share that will be vacated by our neighbor. So I think of the customers, especially in the US, there is a mandate. Pretty much all large distribution houses in the US have a mandate that to diversify their supply chain, they need to reduce the dependence on one particular supplier that they had over a period of time. When they talk to us, their worry is around scale and speed, primarily because our local manufacturing is still nascent, it's still in a growth phase. There's a lot more that we need to do as far as scale is concerned, and as far as speed of both adhering to regulatory norms as well as supply is concerned. And a lot of it is dependent on availability of raw material, on availability of the entire ecosystem of supply chain, which I think is work in progress, and which is where I think the next years will take us to. Sometimes it takes years and nothing happens, and sometimes years happen in weeks, and I think we are in that place as far as MedTech is concerned. So where we are headed as far as the regulatory norms are concerned, as far as MDR's membership is concerned, I think these are great steps. As we harmonize, we are able to quickly get to standards where we can keep on supplying and capitalizing on the market opportunities. And it will be important that domestically also, if you can harmonize on some of these requirements and not have multiple regulations, it can help both the MSMEs scale up, not create a lot of new systems for the existing companies, and can then become great base for large multinationals, which have to eventually come and start manufacturing out here. So I think we are at the cusp of an inflection point, and from a regulatory perspective, from a go-to-market perspective, from an overall support perspective, the ecosystem is really coming about. It's a difficult arena because the number of players in the ecosystem is very, very large. But I'm very hopeful that in the next decade, it will be a year of India as we speak.